In this video, we're going to learn how to import AutoCAD files into Revit. So here I have the ArcDaily website pulled up. They just did a special article on some CAD files that you can download that relate to bathroom components. I found a shower head that I like here, so I'm going to find the 3D CAD model for it and download that into my Revit file. So here I see the shower head, and let's see if we scroll down. We should be able to see the 3D model for it. And here it is. So I'm going to click on 3D. It's going to download. I'm going to click to show that in my folder and right click. Let's rename that into a file name that makes more sense for us. So I'm going to name this showerhead. I'm going to put a 3 on it. And now that I have it renamed, I'm going to throw that onto my desktop here so that way I can find it easily. Now that I have my CAD file downloaded, here's an example of what it's going to look like in the end with the shower head up on the wall. I'm going to delete this one out. I have my CAD file downloaded. To bring it into Revit, I have to go to the Insert tab and I have to go to the Link CAD command. Once that's on my desktop, I'm going to search for it there. Here it is. And looking at the options we have as we import it, I can change the colors of them or go with preserve, so it's exactly the color of the line work that it was drawn with in the AutoCAD software. If I have current view only checked, that would mean that I would be bringing it into, let's say, just my level 1 plan or level 2 plan or site plan. That's actually really handy. Let's say if we wanted to bring in some topography into our site plan, we could make sure that that line work only shows up in the site plan. So that would be handy. I'm going to go to level 1, insert, link CAD, and keep everything else pretty much by default. Auto origin to origin means I should expect this to show up in the middle of my drawing if it was drawn in at the origin in AutoCAD at 00. So I'm going to click open. So my files come into Revit. There's really not a lot of properties associated with it. It really comes in pretty much as a 3D block, so not really much information associated with its plumbing fixture, if it has to be hosted by a wall, or anything like that. I'm going to unpin it and move it off to the side. By unpinning it, it allows me to rotate and move the item. I'm going to move this thing 90 degrees over and use the move command to click and drag from the base to the wall. When I do this, I do need to offset this up onto the wall at the height that I want. So right now you can see that it was brought into level 1 at a base offset at 00. I'm going to change that to 6 feet, 6 inches for the height of this CAD block and say apply. And now that I have this into my file at the right height, we can take a look at it in 3D to make sure all of our placements make sense. And you can see I've done the same thing with the toilet and the tub, but in those instances, I did not need to offset them up to a different height. I brought them in at level 1 and they stayed at level 1.